COVID-19 is the pandemic of 2020 that has taken many people by surprise. With little preparation and no knowledge of the infectious disease, many nations and their scientists were quick to enact a quarantine in order to protect the people from the germs of others and themselves. Due to the topical nature of COVID-19, I thought it would be the perfect way to integrate what we know about evolution into society today. With social distancing now at play, COVID-19 has become a household name. But what exactly is it? COVID-19 is a unique type of virus that originated in animals and was transmitted to humans. To understand what it is and how it works, we first must ask ourselves, what is a virus? A virus, as described in Chapter 1, is an infective agent that multiplies in a host cell. An example of a virus includes the 2009 swine flu, called H1N1. This form of the flu spread from pigs to humans and infected 200 countries and took 280,000 lives. Unlike the swine flu, the 2020 coronavirus, called COVID-19, originated in bats. It was able to spread from bats to humans after the consumption of a diseased bat by an individual in Wuhan, China. After patient 0 was infected, it took multiple weeks for those symptoms to set in, and it was quick to spread quietly to other individuals, including world travelers. All information within this slide is citation 1. After the diagnosis of COVID-19 in individuals from Wuhan, China, governments began to fear for their own nations. For weeks, world travelers were able to enter and exit Asia as they pleased, and as well as other countries. Without knowledge of infectious disease, no precautions were taken, and the spread of the virus ensued. As we know from Chapter 15, the severity of a disease and its ability to infect and spread through different hosts is called virulence. This term is important in the case of viruses like COVID because it can give us an estimate of how impactful this virus will be on our populations. As of March 2020, the global mortality rate for COVID-19 is 3.4%. This is 3.3% more than the common cold. For reference, the Ebola virus outbreak of 2016 was 40%, and a common flu season death rate is less than 0.1%. Comparatively, the bird flu is only 30% in mortality rate. This tells us that the virulence of 2020 COVID is mild, but is harmful to those who are immunocompromised. Immunocompromised individuals include the elderly and infants, as well as those with pre-existing respiratory illnesses, autoimmune diseases, and any other immunity or respiratory-related issues. This is where a majority of our mortality rate comes from. All information on the previous 2 slides are in citation 2. After many weeks of observing the outbreak and its effects on populations, scientists were able to confirm that it is in fact a virus and has a mild virulence. After further observation, scientists began to work on understanding the phylogeny and the taxonomic naming of the new virus. This would allow them to understand where the virus came from and how it came to be. After weeks of research, they were able to conclude that this virus originated in the family of Coronavirinae and is in a clade with other coronaviruses. This then begs the question, what is a clade? In Chapter 4, we learned that a clade is a single branch on a phylogenetic tree that represents an organism and all of its descendants. Clades help scientists understand the lineage of an organism as well as helps them to identify their origins, extinctions, and originations of a species. In this case of COVID, we can see that it belongs to SARS-CoV-2, a clade within the Coronavirinae family and sister to SARS-CoV. After understanding its clade, they finally coined the name COVID-19, and which brings us here to today. All information on this slide is citation 3. While we don't know what exactly comes next, at least we can estimate COVID's next moves by understanding where it came from, how virulent it is, and what it is. As we continue to quarantine and learn more about COVID-19, scientists work tirelessly to create a vaccine that can hopefully put a stop to this current pandemic. These are the citations that I mentioned throughout the presentation.